Chapter 1: The University He Chose for Me. The mountain came down on the bus. Before I reached the university I had never chosen. One moment, rain struck the windows in silver lines. The next, someone screamed that the road was moving. I saw mud, stone, and an uprooted tree rushing toward us. Then I remembered the application page. My first choice should have been East River University. My score was more than enough. I had filled in the program, checked it twice, and shown the draft to my boyfriend, Zhou Haoyu. When the official result arrived, every choice had changed. Kangling College, a low-ranked private university 600 kilometers away, built below a mountain highway that flooded every summer. My father, Song Yiran, stared at the admission notice until his hands shook. "Yiran, how could you submit this?" My mother, Lin Hui, did not scold me. That was worse. She sat beside the dinner she had cooked to celebrate and quietly removed the extra bowl. "Maybe Song Yiran was tired," Lin Hui told my father. "She has had a difficult month." I had. 1 month earlier, our school beauty, Qiao Manli, had found a 7-day graduation cruise for only 4,999 yuan. The advertisement promised sea view cabins, island filming, meals, and professional influencer coaching. Qiao Manli said a media company was paying the rest because it needed students to produce hundreds of short videos. The price was too low. The payment account belonged to an individual. The brochure named no licensed cruise operator. As class monitor, I reported it to our homeroom teacher. Gao Min contacted the school. The school contacted parents. The trip was canceled by that evening. I thought I had protected everyone. My classmates thought I had stolen the last happy memory of high school. They poured seawater into my desk. They edited my face onto prison bars and called me Captain Safety. 49 people left our class group and created another one without me. Qiao Manli cried during graduation rehearsal. "I only wanted everyone to see the sea," Qiao Manli said. "If Song Yiran is afraid of every road, none of us will ever go anywhere." Even our homeroom teacher, Gao Min, asked me whether I could have handled it less dramatically. Only my boyfriend, Zhou Haoyu, stood beside me. "Ignore them," Zhou Haoyu said. "When something goes wrong, they always expect you to solve it. When you solve it, they hate you for making them feel stupid." I cried against Zhou Haoyu's shoulder. That was why I trusted him with my application password. I did not learn the truth until 3 days before enrollment, when Zhou Haoyu sent a message meant for Qiao Manli to me by mistake. "Song Yiran will be gone soon. I changed all 6 choices. You don't have to see her face at East River." Below the message was a photograph of Zhou Haoyu kissing Qiao Manli beside the river. When I confronted him, Zhou Haoyu did not deny it. "You ruined graduation for the entire class," Zhou Haoyu said. "Kangling College still gave you a place. Stop acting as if I destroyed your life." I boarded the enrollment bus because the application window was closed, because my parents had already borrowed for tuition, and because I still believed one bad road was better than no road. The landslide proved me wrong. Mud smashed through the window. I died clutching an admission, notice bearing the result of someone else's revenge. When I opened my eyes, my mother, Lin Hui, was knocking on my bedroom door. "Yiran, your father found discounted train tickets. Do you still want to take that family trip after your results come out?" I stared at my phone. June 23rd. 1 day before Qiao Manli posted the cruise. My application portal still displayed the temporary password Zhou Haoyu had helped me set during the school's practice session. My hands began to tremble. Not from fear. From the memory of rain against a bus window. I changed the password first. Then I changed the recovery number from Zhou Haoyu's spare number to my mother's phone. I removed every trusted device except my own laptop. I saved the confirmation page and printed the account recovery receipt. Only after the portal displayed security information updated successfully did I open the bedroom door. My mother, Lin Hui, stood outside holding 2 train options. "You remembered?" I asked. Lin Hui looked confused. "Of course I remembered. You have talked about Moon Lake since middle school." In my first life, I had canceled the family trip because Qiao Manli asked me to help check contracts and collect payments. Then I spent the following month fighting classmates who wished I had stayed silent. I took the train schedule from Lin Hui. Let's leave tomorrow morning. Lin Hui blinked. Tomorrow, what about the class graduation plans? They can plan without their former class monitor. At dinner, my father, Song Yiran, ordered the tickets before I could change my mind. He tried to hide his excitement by complaining about hotel prices. My phone rang halfway through the meal. My boyfriend, Zhou Haoyu. I answered on speaker. Yiran, Zhou Haoyu said warmly, send me your application login again. I'll help prepare your draft while you're busy. My father stopped moving his chopsticks. No, I said. Zhou Haoyu laughed. Why are you suddenly treating me like a stranger? Because you once sent me to my death. I did not say that. It is my application, I said. I will submit it. His voice cooled. Fine, don't blame me if you make a mistake. The old me would have rushed to reassure him. This time, I ended the call. At 6 the next morning, I boarded the train with my parents. My mother packed too many boiled eggs. My father photographed the station sign 3 times because his thumb kept covering the lens. As the train left Lucheng, our graduating class group lit up. Qiao Manli had posted a blue poster covered with white waves. 7 days, 3 islands, 1 creator future. Below it she wrote, Special graduation cruise, only 4,999 yuan. The sponsor chose our class first. Then another message appeared. 49 paid places, first come, first served. My mother, Lin Hui, leaned against my shoulder and fell asleep. I muted the group. In my first life, I had stood in front of that road and let 50 people stone me for closing it. This time, I had already chosen mine. The train carried me farther from the argument with every passing minute. Chapter 2, 49 payments and 1 free cabin. By the time the train reached Moon Lake, 23 classmates had paid. Our school's celebrated beauty, Qiao Manli, posted every transfer receipt beneath the cruise poster. Red celebration stickers filled the group. The influencer company is called Blue Horizon Culture, Qiao Manli explained in a voice message. They are sponsoring us because graduating students create authentic content. We only pay 4,999 yuan. In exchange, everyone must film at least 30 short videos. My classmate Deng Kai asked whether beginners could earn money afterward. The best creators may receive contracts, Qiao Manli said. This could pay for your first year of college. Deng Kai transferred the fee 2 minutes later. I knew Deng Kai's parents ran a breakfast cart. In my first life, Deng Kai had cursed me most viciously after the cruise was canceled. My parents borrowed that money because you said this was fake, Deng Kai had shouted. Do you know what opportunity means to people who aren't rich like you? I was not rich. I had simply become the person everyone charged for disappointment. At Moon Lake Station, my father, Song Yiran, waved impatiently from the platform while my mother, Lin Hui, searched for the hotel address. I slipped my phone into my bag. It buzzed again during lunch. My skeptical classmate, Tang Ziki, had posted a screenshot. I searched the company name. It lists short video marketing, not passenger transport. What cruise operator is carrying us? The group became quiet. Then Qiao Manli replied with a laughing emoji. Blue Horizon is the sponsor, not the captain. Influencer contracts are confidential. Tang Ziki, if you need a government seal before taking every step, perhaps stay home. My boyfriend, Zhou Haoyu, followed immediately. Qiao Manli negotiated this for weeks. Some people contribute opportunities, other people contribute suspicion. The words were aimed at Tang Ziki. They were meant for me. Someone tagged my name. Former class monitor Song Yiran, are you reporting us again? I looked across the restaurant. My parents were arguing cheerfully over whether the local fish needed more chili. I typed one message. I am not participating. I have not checked or approved the company, vessel, contract, or itinerary. Do not use my name as permission. Qiao Manli answered before anyone else. Nobody asked for your permission. Zhou Haoyu added, try enjoying your family trip instead of controlling ours. I intend to, I wrote. I muted the group again. That afternoon, my father rented 3 bicycles. Song Yiran claimed the lakeside road was flat. 10 minutes later, he was pushing his bicycle uphill and accusing the map of lying. My mother laughed until she had to sit on a stone wall. I took a photograph of them. In my first life, the last photograph in my phone had been Qiao Manli's canceled poster, covered with angry comments. This time, it was my parents sharing a bottle of water beneath yellow summer flowers. At 9 that night, I checked the group once. All 49 paid places were filled. Qiao Manli posted a final instruction list. Tell your families this is a class filming camp. Do not share the route before departure. The sponsor requires secrecy because competitors copy influencer concepts. Phones will be collected during designated filming periods so nobody leaks raw content. Tang Ziki asked, why tell our parents something different? Qiao Manli replied privately, but Tang Ziki copied the message into the group. Because parents here cruise and panic. Once we return with professional videos, they will understand. Qiao Manli deleted both messages. He Miao, Qiao Manli's most loyal friend, posted, can everyone stop ruining the mood? We are adults. The group moved on to cabin assignments. Qiao Manli received the host suite free. Zhou Haoyu received the other bed in the same 2-room cabin to manage equipment. He sent me no explanation. I sent him one message. We are finished. Zhou Haoyu called 12 times. I did not answer. The next morning, short videos began appearing in the group. 49 students stood at Lanhai Port wearing matching blue wristbands. Qiao Manli walked in front with a small camera, announcing that their creator era had begun. Behind her was a white vessel called Sea Lark. Tang Ziki filmed the brochure on another phone. The printed vessel was called Ocean Crown. They changed ships because Ocean Crown had an engine inspection, Qiao Manli said on video. Sea Lark is our private upgrade. The camera turned toward Zhou Haoyu. Would Blue Horizon lie to us? Qiao Manli asked. Zhou Haoyu grinned. The only liar is the person who says fear is wisdom. Several classmates shouted my name and laughed. Then the video ended. What I did not see until later was the payment arrangement behind it. For every 4,999 yuan transfer made through her referral code, Qiao Manli received half. 49 payments, 122,475 yuan and 50 fen. The commission agreement called it a campus acquisition reward. Qiao Manli called it helping her classmates see the world. At noon, the Sea Lark left the port. By evening, the first polished video appeared on Qiao Manli's public account. Music played over blue water. Students held fruit drinks against the sunset. The caption read, if you are afraid of every road, you will never see the sea. My mother, Lin Hui, glanced at the video while I booked museum tickets. Aren't those your classmates? Yes. You didn't want to go. I looked at the tiny white vessel cutting across the screen. No. Lin Hui studied my face, but did not force another question. 2 days later, the Lucheng College application portal opened. I sat at the hotel desk with my father, Song Yiran, reading every choice aloud. East River University was first. 4 sensible programs followed. Kangeling College was nowhere on the page. My mother checked my candidate number. My father checked it again because he did not trust my mother's glasses. I entered the verification code myself. Main round application submitted successfully, the screen said. My father exhaled so loudly that all 3 of us laughed. That night, I briefly powered on the phone number Zhou Haoyu knew. The group contained more than 600 unread messages and dozens of vacation clips. In the newest photograph, Qiao Manli stood at the bow in Zhou Haoyu's jacket. Zhou Haoyu's arm was around her waist. Under it, He Miao had written, our cruise couple finally stopped pretending. I saved the photograph, removed Zhou Haoyu from every shared account, and turned the phone off. I thought that was the end of my relationship. 4 days later, our homeroom teacher, Gao Min, called my mother's phone and asked whether I knew where 50 students had gone. Chapter 3, The vacation photos became evidence. My mother's smile vanished. She put the call on speaker. "Teacher Gao, what do you mean gone?" Gao Min sounded as if she had been running. No one has heard from them since yesterday. Their parents only realized something was wrong this morning. Some were supposedly at a photography camp. Some said they were visiting relatives. 5 claimed they were attending a school-organized graduation trip. The school organized nothing. My father, Song Yiran, lowered the hotel television. 50, he asked. Qiao Manli and 49 classmates, Gao Min said. Song Yiran was class monitor. She must know what they planned. There it was again. Not does Song Yiran know. She must know. In my first life, that sentence had made me run from adult to adult until I stopped the trip. Then the same people punished me for succeeding. I took the phone from my mother. I refused the invitation in the group. I was never part of the trip. This is not the time to separate yourself from the class, Gao Min snapped. Open your phone and find something useful. I will help find them. I will not accept responsibility for sending them. Those are different things. For once, Gao Min had no immediate answer. I powered on my old number. Messages crashed onto the screen. Parents had entered the class group through their children's linked tablets and spare computers. Every few seconds, someone posted a name, a photograph, or a demand. Zhou Haoyu's mother sent 6 voice messages in a row. Song Yiran, Haoyu said you always arranged class activities. Where did you let them go? Why didn't you tell us? If you thought the trip was unsafe, why didn't you stop him? I listened twice, not because her questions deserved answers, but because I wanted to remember the bargain clearly. They had rejected my authority when it inconvenienced them. Now that something had happened, they wanted my responsibility back. The visible cruise posts still looked cheerful. Qiao Manli danced on a deck. He Miao displayed a seafood platter. Deng Kai promised his followers a cabin tour. Zhou Haoyu held Qiao Manli beneath a string of colored lights. But the timestamps were wrong. 3 clips had appeared after Gao Min said every direct call had stopped. One showed noon sunlight even though it was posted after midnight. The captions had Qiao Manli's polished punctuation, but the students behind her wore the same clothes in 4 supposedly different days. They were scheduled posts. I downloaded everything before anyone could erase it. The brochure named Ocean Crown. Tang Ziki's doc video showed Sea Lark. A reflection in Deng Kai's cabin window caught part of a pier sign. Qiao Manli's payment message contained her referral code. Her secrecy instructions were still sitting above 49 transfer confirmations. My mother watched me create an archive. Did you know this would happen? She asked quietly. I knew the price made no sense. I knew the company would not provide a license. I did not know they were criminals. In my last. I stopped. In my worst imagination, I corrected, I thought the students might lose money or be stranded at a port. My father did not ask why my hands were shaking. He simply pushed a glass of water toward me. By afternoon, the 3 of us were back in Lucheng. The police interview room was crowded with charging cables, printed photographs, and parents who spoke over one another. Captain Lucheng, the missing person investigator assigned to coordinate the case, raised his voice only once. If everyone wants to be heard, give me facts. If everyone wants someone to punish before we find your children, go outside. The room went silent. I gave him the archive on a new drive and kept my original copy. This is the complete class group export, I said. Invitation, payment code, deleted message notices, videos, original timestamps, and the vessel change. I did not alter the files. Captain Lucheng looked at me. Why is your copy complete when several parents say messages disappeared from their children's devices? I muted the group. I never left it, and no one had access to my phone. Qiao Manli's mother stood so quickly that her chair struck the wall. You kept all this while our children vanished. I saw most of it today. You objected to the trip. You suspected something. I suspected a dishonest bargain. So did Tang Ziki. Your daughter deleted her question about the operator license and told everyone to lie to their parents. The woman's face tightened. Manli only wanted them to have fun. Captain Lucheng held out his hand. Enough. Suspicion of a cheap advertisement is not knowledge of an abduction. Let us establish what occurred. He asked me to reconstruct the posts one by one. At dusk, an officer returned with the first hard answers. Blue Horizon Culture had used a borrowed office address. Its listed representative did not exist in the commercial registry. The Ocean Crown had never been booked. Sea Lark's registration details had been copied from another vessel. The room changed. Until then, some parents had still used words like delay, storm, and broken signal. Captain Lu Cheng closed the folder. We are no longer treating this as an overdue tour. A criminal group appears to have moved the students under fraudulent identities. A joint coastal search has begun. From this moment, do not contact numbers sent by strangers, do not pay anyone privately, and do not publish operational details. Deng Kai's father covered his face. I borrowed the fee, he whispered. He said one video contract would pay it back. He Miao's mother turned on him. Money is not important now. It was important when your daughter called mine poor for hesitating, he said. Their grief found edges almost immediately. Outside the station, cameras waited. Someone had posted a screenshot naming me as the class monitor who refused the trip. Comments multiplied before I reached home. She knew it was dangerous and said nothing to the parents. What kind of monitor abandons 49 classmates? Maybe jealousy made her want Qiao Manli's trip to fail. Zhou Haoyu's mother called again. You could control him, she sobbed. He listened to you. I remembered him smiling while he replaced my future with Kangeling College. No, I said. He expected me to clean up his decisions. That is not the same as listening. Then I gave her Captain Lu Cheng's family liaison number and ended the call. The search continued while another clock ran down. The main college application deadline was July 5th. Parents arrived at the Education Service Center carrying identity cards and household records. Most could not enter their children's accounts. The students had hidden the trip by changing recovery numbers or sending verification codes to private phones that were now missing. The officials documented the emergency and explained the limit plainly. They could preserve evidence and request later relief, but they could not invent applications or rank choices on behalf of absent candidates before the deadline. On July 5th, families watched the portal clock reach midnight. 50 main round applications remained blank. The cruise had cost 4,999 yuan. For the first time, everyone began to understand what else they had paid. Chapter 4, 1 month after the sea went quiet. By morning, the missing applications had become national entertainment. One post called us the cruise class. Another placed my refusal beside photographs of the empty Education Service Hall and asked, did the class monitor save herself alone? The question was shared 80,000 times. Qiao Manli's mother appeared outside the police station wearing the same white dress in which she had once attended our graduation. My daughter organized a legal graduation trip, she told the cameras. Song Yiran raised doubts but concealed them from every parent. If she had spoken one day earlier, this tragedy might not have happened. That clip exploded. Zhou Haoyu's mother reposted it with the words, silence can also kill. He Miao's mother wrote that Qiao Manli had only connected classmates with a sponsor. Deng Kai's father replied with a photograph of the loan agreement he had signed to pay 4,999 yuan. Your children called us cowards when we asked questions, he wrote. Now you call the recruiter innocent and the girl who stayed home guilty. The parents' group split into camps before the police found a single student. Then Tang Ziki's older sister recovered a synchronized tablet from their apartment. On it was the private message Tang Ziki had sent Qiao Manli before departure. Please show me the cruise operator's license and insurance certificate. The company name does not match the payment account. Below it, Qiao Manli had replied, delete this. If you frighten the others and cost me the partnership, you will answer for everyone's lost opportunity. The screenshot did not prove that Qiao Manli knew where the students would be taken. It proved she had buried a warning that threatened her deal. Her mother deleted her interview. The internet had already copied it. I posted only once. I declined an unverified private trip in the class group. I was neither its organizer nor its guardian. I supplied the complete records to police as soon as the students were reported missing. I will not publish evidence that could obstruct the search. Within minutes, strangers demanded that I release everything. Others accused me of writing like a lawyer because I felt no grief. I closed the app. My mother, Lin Hui, sat beside me at the kitchen table. "Are you all right?" "No, but I am not guilty." She rested her hand over mine. "Those can both be true." The next afternoon, Gao Min came to our home. Our homeroom teacher looked 10 years older. She remained standing even after my father offered her a chair. "I told the school I knew nothing about the trip," she said. "That was true. But the students used our graduation badge in their videos, and I dismissed rumors because exams were finished. I should have checked." "You also told the police I must know everything because I was monitor," I said. Gao Min looked down. "I was afraid the school would ask why I didn't know. I pushed that fear onto you." It was not a noble confession. She had come only after the public began asking what the teacher had done. But at least it was honest. "Tell the police," I said, "not me." She nodded and left. The investigation moved more slowly than the rumors. Captain Lu Cheng did not announce discoveries each night. He asked for devices, waited for bank records, checked port cameras, and corrected false sightings sent by attention seekers. 3 weeks after the disappearance, he called me back to verify the referral code. 49 students had paid through accounts tied to Blue Horizon Culture. After processing, exactly half of every 4,999 yuan payment had been assigned to Qiao Manli as a campus acquisition reward. 122,475 yuan and 50 fen. "Did she ever mention a commission?" Captain Lu Cheng asked. "Never. She said the company sponsored the low price because we would make videos." The commission explains why she pressured people to pay and why she feared canceled bookings, he said. "It does not, by itself, prove she knew the company intended a crime. Keep that distinction when people ask you." "I will." That distinction made the truth less satisfying to strangers. They wanted Qiao Manli to be either an innocent angel or a trafficker who planned everything. The uglier reality sat between those stories. She had wanted money, admiration, and Zhou Haoyu beside her. She had been shown warning after warning. She had chosen not to look because looking might cost her 122,475 yuan and 50 fen. While police searched, my own future kept moving. East River University requested a routine document confirmation. I uploaded it myself. My father checked that I had pressed submit. My mother checked that my father had not touched the keyboard. For one evening, we laughed again. Then I saw Zhou Haoyu's empty chair in an old graduation photograph and had to leave the room. I hated him. I still did not want him to disappear forever. On August 3rd, Captain Lu Cheng called at 5:14 in the morning. 12 students have been recovered alive, he said. Their families are being notified. Do not go to the harbor. By 5:30, the location had leaked. By 6, half the city seemed to be outside the coastal medical center. My parents wanted me to stay home. I went because Captain Lu Cheng asked me to identify several belongings recovered with the group. The 12 had been found during a coordinated search of an isolated island facility. Police released no operational details. Ambulances entered through a guarded gate while parents pressed against the barrier and shouted names. Deng Kai's father counted every stretcher. "Not him," he whispered after the 12th. "My son isn't there." His loan agreement was still circulating online. Now strangers sent him messages asking whether 4,999 yuan had been worth it. He sank onto the curb. Tang Ziki came through first, wrapped in a gray blanket. Her older sister screamed and ran beside the stretcher. 9 others followed. Then Zhou Haoyu stepped from an ambulance with a bandage across his forehead. His mother broke through the first line of officers. She held his face, struck his shoulder once, and pulled him against her so hard that he winced. Qiao Manli emerged last. Her hair had been cut unevenly. The confident smile from her cruise videos was gone. For 1 second, when she saw her father and mother waiting, she looked 18 again. Then she saw the cameras. She saw me standing beside Captain Lu Cheng. And she found the role she knew best. Qiao Manli pointed at me. Song Yiran knew, she cried. She knew the trip was dangerous and she let all of us go. Chapter 5, The Price of the Cheap Ticket. The cameras swung toward me. Qiao Manli's mother reached her first. What did Song Yiran know? She demanded. Tell everyone. She said the price was shady. She knew the company couldn't be trusted. Qiao Manli clutched the blanket around her shoulders. She was class monitor. She could have called the school. She wanted me to fail. For one breath, the old ending opened in front of me. I could run from parent to parent. I could defend myself until my voice broke. I could become responsible for every choice made by people who mocked mine. Captain Lu Cheng stepped between the cameras and the ambulance gate. This is a medical transfer, not a public trial, he said. The recovered students require treatment. Anyone obstructing them will be removed. Qiao Manli's father seized the opening. My daughter is a victim. Do not interrogate her here. Then stop inviting the cameras to interrogate Song Yiran, my father said. It was the first time I had heard Song Jianming speak loudly in public. My mother, Lin Hui, took my arm. She did not pull me away. She simply stood beside me. Tang Ziqi lifted her head from the nearest stretcher. She warned us, she said. The crowd quieted. Tang Ziqi's voice was weak, but every microphone caught it. Song Yiran said she had not approved the company, vessel, contract, or itinerary. Qiao Manli told us Song Yiran was jealous. I asked for the operator license. Qiao Manli made me delete the question. Qiao Manli stared at her. Ziqi, you're confused. No, Tang Ziqi closed her eyes. I was confused when I boarded. I am not confused now. An officer moved her inside before anyone could ask more. The statement lasted less than a minute. It broke the story Qiao Manli had prepared for the cameras. The survivors were interviewed separately over the following days. Their accounts did not match perfectly, which made them more convincing, not less. He Miao admitted she had repeated Qiao Manli's insults because she wanted a place in every video. I called Tang Ziqi paranoid, she told investigators. When the vessel changed, I was scared too. I laughed so no one would notice. One of the recovered boys said he never saw the license question. Another remembered Qiao Manli collecting phones after a company representative called it a creator challenge. A third insisted Zhou Haoyu had told them the school knew about the trip. Zhou Haoyu denied saying that until investigators showed him 3 messages in which he wrote, Gao Min will complain, but she cannot stop us after graduation. No single statement solved the case. Together, they destroyed the excuse that nobody had seen a warning. Qiao Manli changed her account each time the facts moved. First, she had believed the trip was legal. Then, Tang Ziqi had never asked for a license. Then, the question had been deleted to prevent panic. Finally, the 50% payment was not a commission, but an influencer award she had planned to share later. Captain Lu Cheng traced part of the money to a deposit Qiao Manli had made before departure on a luxury camera. The remaining balance was frozen for possible restitution while her recruitment conduct was investigated. Police were careful with their words. Qiao Manli had been recovered as a victim of the criminal group. She was also being investigated for concealment, deceptive recruitment, and her financial role in bringing 49 students to it. Both facts could exist at once. The remaining 38 students were still missing. Tang Ziqi changed that from her hospital bed. She had hidden a small action camera inside the lining of her backpack after the company demanded their phones. Most of its footage was useless: dark fabric, fragments of voices, a floor moving beneath her. One fragment captured a painted supply crate and the repeated horn of a nearby freight vessel. Investigators combined that clue with shipping records and routes they were already tracing. It narrowed the next search area. 6 days after the first rescue, Deng Kai and the remaining 37 students were recovered alive from another coastal holding site. His father met him without cameras. The man held out the loan agreement, tore it once down the middle, then seemed to remember that the debt still existed. He began laughing and crying at the same time. You can earn it back, he told his son. You cannot earn yourself back. The students returned to a future that had not waited for them. Lu Cheng's education service verified that they had missed the main application window while victims of a criminal act. It opened a limited supplemental round using seats that remained unfilled. It did not take places back from students who had applied on time, and it could not recreate the choices available in July. Tang Ziqi accepted a place in a local engineering program. He Miao chose to repeat the year. Deng Kai took a remaining media technology place and found weekend work to help repay the loan. Zhou Haoyu rejected every supplemental option because none matched the university he had expected. His mother blamed the education service, Qiao Manli, the school, and finally him. You had the password in your own hands, she said. Why did you give your phone away? For once, Zhou Haoyu had no one ready to answer for him. Qiao Manli's public account lost its sponsorships. The Cheerful cruise clips remained online, but classmates reposted them beside the license question, the changed vessel, and the commission amount. Her slogan became a reply people used whenever someone promoted a bargain without showing the contract. If you are afraid of every road, you will never see the sea. Under it, Tang Ziqi wrote, Ask who owns the road first. In late August, my admission notice arrived from East River University. Zhou Haoyu came to my building that evening. He looked thinner. The bandage was gone, leaving a pale mark near his hairline. You got your first choice, he said. Yes. You changed the password before the trip. It was not a question. Yes. His mouth tightened. You were preparing to leave me. I was preparing to protect my application. Leaving you was part of that. I nearly died, Yiran. Did you never think about calling the school, calling our parents? I thought about it. Then I remembered what you all did the last time I stood between you and a consequence. He did not understand the last time. He understood the boundary. So you punished 49 people because you were angry with me. No, I refused one trip. 49 adults made their own payments. Qiao Manli hid her commission. You helped silence questions. Criminals committed the crime. Stop placing every decision in my hands just because you dislike where yours led. He looked past me toward the apartment, perhaps expecting my mother to soften the answer. Lin Hui closed the inner door. Zhou Haoyu finally left. In September, my parents traveled with me to East River University. My father carried a suitcase I could have carried myself. My mother checked my admission notice 3 times, then pretended she had only checked once. At the station, my phone rang with a call from an unknown Lu Cheng number. In my first life, I would have answered. A class monitor answered. A good girlfriend answered. A useful daughter answered. I looked at my parents, waiting beside the departure board. My application confirmation was saved on my phone under a password only I knew. I turned the phone off. Then I walked toward my future with both of them beside me.